So to preface the discussion, I wanted to say that I work in industry. My current role is the Chief Technology Officer and the Vice President of Architecture for the Royal Dutch Shell Global Account at T-Systems International. But I have kept a very intimate relationship with professors in universities and academic institutions. I usually bring research problems, real research problems from what I see on the ground in the data centers in the areas I work for, and work with professors and their students to resolve those problems from a research perspective. In many instances, I also propose a solution to them, and we work together to research those challenges. And also, in many times, I bring students from universities and academic institutions to intern in the companies I work for. And in many instances, in fact, some of the students were able to pick up research topics from the work they do under my guidance in the company, and then they finish their PhD based on that work. The most exciting thing I see about the work I do is when I bring research problems to professors, I always see that the professors are able to put a different twist, or they put a different view at the problem, which helps me put a much bigger view at the issue itself, and we look at it from a different perspective. They also look at it from a long-term research perspective as well. So we work together collectively to resolve that problem, and I find this more appealing in the sense that we are able to look at the problem from many angles. That's one thing. The other thing that's exciting to me is also the ability to go around and visit those universities and talk to all kinds of professors about the research problems. These are real research problems we see on the ground in enterprises, in small, medium businesses, in data centers. And this brings a flavor to the type of research professors do, a real practical flavor, which makes it also closer to what we see in society. That's very interesting for me. Another interesting aspect is to look at the problem from a practicality perspective. It's very practical. It's going to have a real impact on society. So in terms of challenges, there are challenges, of course, related to the type of work I do, which is basically cloud computing and big data. I look at cloud computing and big data separately, and I also look at the intersection between cloud and big data. So there are a lot of angles related to both of them. The reason why is because cloud now is becoming the de facto hosting platform for big data. So we take a look at examples of what type of hosting do we need to do, what kind of storage and networking technology we need to put in those in cloud deployments in order for us to be as efficient as possible for big data deployments. I'm one of those believers who believe that students need to be equipped with core computer science, computer engineering courses. For example, computer architecture, programming languages. If students are able to build that base, then I believe strongly that they'll be able to easily tailor their efforts to any new technology domain that's trendy in the market at that time. You know very well that technologies change all the time, and the pick in the market usually changes. So when they have the basics very strongly equipped with it, I think they will be able to easily adapt to any new technology domain. Today it's big data, tomorrow it's IoT, after that is going to be something very likely different. So when they have those basic requirements, it will be very easy for them to go and change based on the needs of the market. So I think again, the most important thing is to try to learn the basics. Secondly, try to reach out to people in industry to intern in companies, because that's going to allow you to bring real flavor of the type of work that we see in industry. It will also help you understand the challenges we see in the industry. And if you're going to be able to marry those challenges with the basics that you have learned, I think it's going to make you a much stronger person. You will be able to easily, again, in the future, adapt to something new. So I urge students to always look for what's out there, and don't be afraid when you see a new trend in technology. If you have the basics strength inside you, you'll be able to easily adapt to something new. Since I deal with a lot of professors, with a lot of students in universities, and I help them to formulate their problems and look at the solution, a lot of times when these students graduate, they finish their master's or PhD, they usually go and continue doing research along the same lines, and a lot of times also try to tweak their research to fit that trendy technology that's happening in the market at that time. So if somebody is doing research on cloud, they'll try to look at how can we use cloud and possibly big data to build smarter societies. Smarter societies can be in terms of smarter cities, cities with less congestion, cities with better healthcare, and so on. So this is going to be the overall picture that what these students usually are doing now to help societies become better.